Well, I know I say that a lot, but I think I finally got my head screwed on right today, and I fixed the issues, and these are the final pieces, in my opinion. I'm doing a print now, and I'll show you how I had to print it in a moment. But one of the things I had to correct was that um, the sides of the pan had to go up clearly. Okay, I mean that's like duh. And I just lost my brain. I don't know what happened. So I flushed this edge to the bottom of the pan, and what you'll see with the bottom of the pan are those radiuses in here. These little arcs in here are for the pivot of the wheel. Pivot point is here, and the truck is back here, and the wheels sit here, and they go like this. And the high point is in here, but they'll clear now nicely on the turns. They won't bind in any way, and I still have I'm still covering the bottom of the compartment, which is what we wanted. We wanted to look like it was the ash pan. The only issue with that was I needed some strength, so I added a beam like a rib or something in here for strength, and I also added a pair of holes out there for the cable harness to come out of this hole and then go forward and plug in. So now I'm looking at, do I need a clamp or something to hold that steady in that time frame? Okay, so the plates go up now, and they're gusseted on the inside. You can see nice bead of plastic there to give that more strength. It's only 1.5 or 2 millimeters. It's not a big plate. It's only for aesthetics, right? It's not holding anything. Then I had to do some kind of a marriage between it and the Firebox, and I was looking at the lines and where the lines needed to be. And what I decided to do is this line here was fairly easy to line up. It was this line here that was giving me the grief, so I just took a notch out of the Firebox and fitted it into here, and then I did some sort of a match cut kind of a thing. It's where you overlap them and then cut a line, and then there, now you know they got a perfect fit. I kind of did that with this, so they should line up really close. You won't see it. It's up under the engine. It's not visible at all, but yeah, somehow I just had it couldn't just be a goofy gap. It had to be, you know, okay. Now that being said, I could lower this window even more if I wanted to. There's nearly no reason. The window height is here to here, and you're not really going to look in and see anything. I did do a chamfer. Someone's asking about opening up this box, and I pushed it back as far as I could. So there's now more room for the engineer to sit and be able to do some controls and still look at this line of sight. His line of sight is going to be pretty good going out. There's a big window right here and another one behind it, so he's going to be able to see it. But he can also see down, all the way down, and see out the little porthole at the other end. We'll have to get some videos of that to make that clear to everybody, but I think that's going to work out. So then I left the details. I got this stick hanging off. I can't get rid of it. Don't know what it is. I just ignore it. It doesn't print. It's so small, so fine. I know, a little weird. I've got a few sketch lines hanging out. Don't know why. There, he's gone now. In any case, I think I'm going to be in good shape. I wish I didn't have this notch missing. I probably could shrink that countersink a little bit, and then that would go away, but I'm not sure I'm worried about it. This is the hole for the all thread part, the threaded insert, I mean, where you press in that bronze piece and then you bolt your tongue to that. And I was thinking if I needed something to hold these down, maybe there was something I could leverage off of that would come out and still offer some pivoting motion, you know. I'm not sure if that makes sense. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking maybe more something that's rigid. Maybe I put a hole here and something that reaches out to either side and just sort of acts like an arm to hold them up. Not too big, not too bulky. Anyway, that's That's the size of it. So that took a while. In my head, for some reason, I was just struggling. Oh God. At any rate, that's it. It's being printed. On the some of the challenging side, the things I've been having problems with when I print was the area of support. It's printing now, so you're not going to see it, but I can make it print faster. Sort of just do that. And what I've done, and you'll see them, is I've added numerous, well, they're supposed to be there, and they're not showing up. They're not growing with me. Oh, that's because they're not printed. I'm only showing the part. Well, let's see. I should probably get out of that. There we go. Got out of that view. So now what I can show you is the whole thing. There we are. There's the whole part. And the orange are what we call supports. And what I've decided, I had been printing it flat, and I just was getting terrible finish on this bottom plate because it was hung over, not hung over, but hanging over. And it wasn't finishing well at all. This plate was coming out great, and this one was coming out poorly. So the machine asked me to put it vertical. I thought about it, and I said, okay, well, let's look at that. And then I can add supports. There's my support button. And when I do that, I can go in here and I can add individual supports. So I noticed I said, okay, you do yours. And then I saw some spots, so I added a few of mine. And I feel pretty good about how it's going to get supported as we print this thing out. These are going to be very thin, and they're just barely touching, and they snap off. Is usually what happens if you're lucky. We've perfected this notion of supports. These don't require supports because they're going to be overhanging on this other side. So if you have any overhang, generally you can print and not have a problem. And what you'll see when we do the when we go to see this thing, however we do it, I forget now. There we go. You can see, kind of see the blue lines. That's how we're going to print this thing. So this is all going to be on top, and it's not going to have a problem. But over here where these lines hang over, they tend to droop and drop down. So that's why these supports are going to be in there to help that out. And I'm hoping that all the supports print. I'm not sure why they're not shown here. See, they start to show, and some show, and then some don't. I don't know what that is. Anyway, that's the part. I don't know where it is now. I've monkeyed with it, so it's all messed up. And then the lower, I'll print when this gets done. And this is going to take an hour to print this. Part, an hour. Or excuse me, this part I'm working on now. This is going to take an hour. Going vertical seems to have added more time. And so the second one's probably going to take an hour as well. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be pretty close. And it's going to be a lot cleaner printing it upright. You can see the supports are coming online now. See the supports sticking up in the back. But you're right, these supports over here stopped growing. That doesn't feel right. I wonder if it thinks it doesn't need them. It can't be that. It can't be. I'm afraid it's gonna, well, we'll just see. We'll see what happens. It looks like it's not doing it, and I don't know why. They're here. You see this? All right, having lunch now. Okay, so that's what I got. Gotcha, I'll be right up. Yep. 10 minutes. Sorry for yelling. God bless her. So that's what I got done this morning. I dug myself out. I knew what I had to do, and I just, she gave me an hour. We have a doctor's appointment, so that's why it's a short day. Tomorrow's another short day. Back-to-back doctors. At any rate, that's it. I gotta go. Talk to you tomorrow, or later today maybe, hoping I can do some more drilling and milling.